Hey everyone, we're back and we are looking at the next fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness. And I realized when I went back to the Bible verse, I've just been using my mind recognition of the fruit that faithfulness comes a little bit earlier in them. So I learned the order in a weird way, which is a little weird. Sorry about that. But faithfulness, when I think of the word faithfulness, the first word that comes to mind is the word loyalty. When I think of the word faithful, I feel like the word loyal, somebody that is there, somebody that sticks with you, the idea of being present. But also faithful has that idea of continuing to do the thing that you were supposed to do, like being present in it, being ongoing in nature. And so when I think of faithful, I also think, compared to the other words, that faithful has more of a kind of ongoingness descriptor, like all the time. Like love, you can do a loving thing in a moment. You can be patient in a situation. You can, when you think of peace, you think of a time period, you think of a season where there is peace. So each of those words can kind of happen in a moment, but when you think of the word faithful, you can't be faithful in a moment. You can't be really faithful in a day or in a week or something like that. Faithful speaks of long term. It speaks of continuing to pitch up, continuing to do this thing, continuing in the same direction. Another thing that I immediately think of when the word faithful comes to mind is my nickname, which is Fish. And I have a tattoo of that on my arm if I can figure out how to lean this in the right direction. And if you can read that writing, it says faithful in serving him. Faithful in serving him. And so that is my nickname, not as a point of arrival. I haven't arrived at a point where I'm faithful in serving him, but it's more as a reminder, as a benchmark, as the carrot in front of the donkey, if I'm the proverbial donkey, in terms of that is what I'm aiming at. I'm aiming at being someone who is faithful in serving God, faithful in serving Jesus and following Jesus. And so when I speak about the idea of fish, the idea of being faithful, the passage that immediately comes to mind is in Luke 9, verse 23, where Jesus is talking to his followers. He says, if you want to follow me, you will deny yourself, take up your cross every day, and follow me. Now, a very interesting thing about that passage, Luke 9:23, is that when I used to do a lot of talks and speak about that, I'd use Matthew 16, verse 24, which looks like exactly the same passage, except for one thing. Matthew 16:24 says, Jesus said to him, if you want to follow me, you must deny yourself, take up your cross, and follow me. Luke 9:23, if you want to follow me, you must deny yourself, take up your cross every day, and follow me. So there's just one little change in there. And you may have noticed it's the phrase every day, which Luke says, which Matthew doesn't say. And it's not that they're contradicting each other. It might be a translation thing. It might be that Luke just realized that that was a key thing. And when I think of every day, there's a favorite Friends episode where Chandler Bing goes, every day, every day. And it's just this idea of like, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. If you want to follow me, you will deny yourself. You will take up your cross every day. When we think of taking up our cross, the Matthew passage almost gives this idea that taking up your cross is a one-time thing. When I became a Christian, maybe there's the sense that somebody gave a talk and I put up my hand and I went to the front and I prayed the prayer. I've taken up my cross and now I'm following Jesus. Whereas Luke, I think, is a lot more helpful. It's that idea that every morning when I wake up, I have to make another decision. Today I'm going to follow Jesus. I have to renew my commitment to follow Jesus. I need to be faithful in serving him. And so when I think of the fruit of faithfulness, that is what I think of. Continuing to show up, continuing to follow God every day, being loyal in our following of God, being faithful. Just keep doing it. And lastly, I would say when you hear the word faithful, you might think that it means full of faith, because that's what the word suggests. But I would say it means the opposite. Even when your faith is not feeling full, when your faith, your confidence in God, your trust levels, when you're feeling disappointed in God, when you're feeling like God feels so far away, being faithful is even in those times when there's doubt, when there's fear, when circumstances are not good, when your life looks like it's not measuring up to the way things were in the Bible. It's saying, I'm still going to believe. And then the last story I would point to, think it's Matthew 14, can't remember, but there's a father of a demon-possessed boy who goes to Jesus, and Jesus talks about believing, and he says, I believe, help me with my unbelief. And so it's the tension of holding on to belief and unbelief at the same time, which may seem crazy, but it's how I spend a lot of my time. There's a lot that makes me believe in God. There's a lot that makes me question and go, is God really real? But while I'm grappling with those things, I'm going to be faithful. I'm going to follow God. I'm going to get up today again, trying to deny myself, take up my cross, and follow Jesus. That's how I see being faithful. And just keep saying last thing, but as a last reminder, remember that we're talking about the fruit of the Spirit. I'm not trying hard to be faithful. I'm inviting the Holy Spirit to live in me, and I'm saying, Holy Spirit, I need faithfulness. Please make it happen.